Alright, when we are talking about functions, we have created a function like this, which checks if the password is valid password or not, based on their length. So this was an exercise and we have created a function like this. So this function takes one parameter. So based on this parameter, password parameter, we are checking that if the length is greater than 8, it means that this is valid password. If it is not greater than 8, it means that it's not a valid password. So if you run our code, you will see that in this case, this password is valid password. Now the question is, if we have list of passwords like this, and we want to check all these passwords one by one to see that if these passwords are valid or not. To do so, I'm just going to comment out this part. So we can call this function, which is password controller, inside loop. So this means that we can create a function and call a custom function that we have created inside any loop. So we know that to loop through the list, we are going to use for loop. So first we are using for keyword. So I'm just going to put alias over here, which will be the password. Then we are going to put in keyword and we are going to loop through this password list. Now if I just print out this password to the console, you'll see that it's just going to print out all passwords from this list to the console. So we have 4 passwords over here. So it's printing out all these passwords to the console. Now instead of printing out this one, putting this one inside standard print function, we can put it inside this password controller. So instead of print, I'm putting password controller. Now to be able to see the result in the console, we have to print out the output that comes from this password controller. To print out the output that comes from the password controller, I'm just going to create a new variable over here, then assign the value that comes from this password controller, then print out the password first, then the result. So based on this one, we can see password and result next to each other. Now if I run our code, you'll see that first password is square. So this is false because the length of this password is less than 8. Then the second password is this one, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this one also false because the length is less than 8. And the next one is this one. This one is true because the length is greater than 8. And the next one is this. This one also is false because the length is less than 8. So this means that by calling this function inside this loop over here, we can check all passwords inside this password list over here. Now with this, we have learned that we can create any custom function by ourselves. Then we can use this function inside for loop over here. Now we are going to learn about while loops also. So you'll see that we can use functions inside while loops also. So with this example, we have understood that any function that we are creating, we can use it inside loop over here in indentation level. So hopefully everything is clear over here.